Okay, you're out with me on my morning walk today. And I'm going to say I have done this type of thing in the past where I've recorded something that's come through to me on my walk, and then I go back and try to redo it on my professional microphone for the podcast. And I've decided that is a step I can completely eliminate. I'm also not going to edit that out. Rewind. That is a step I can also completely eliminate. I'm continuing to rewrite the rules. So this is another little separate episode. I woke up today and I decided I'm not even going to have my little intro music. Why do I need that? Why am I putting intro music into a podcast that's not even a podcast? Like, I remember how much joy and excitement I had over coming up with the exact feeling and vibe I wanted that music. I worked with a sound engineer that I've used in the past to develop it and professionally mix it. And in the moment, that felt correct for me. That felt like really honoring this project that I was committing myself to. So I do not regret doing that. And it helped really anchor me at the time, really into the reason why I'm doing this. And it made it feel almost like a ceremony. I love marking things with ceremony. I like transition moments. So to me, that music felt like a way to honor that. And as we are here in week 34, it's just another step that I have to then find a natural cutting point at the opening, insert that in, fade it out, loop in the rest of the podcast. It's just adding more complexity to something that doesn't require it. And so doing away with that. I never even came up with one for my actual podcast, Useful Thinking, because I had been thinking on this podcast, I don't really need that. Why do we need it? Just because I hear other podcasts doing that? What is the point? I skip over it 80% of the time anyway. Maybe I listen to it once and then I, naturally fast forward through that because I don't want to hear it. So why am I putting that into my podcast? It's not like that's what makes it a real podcast. So that's another decision that I made today. Feeling really great about it. I am probably just going to, at least for this week, just going to drop these all on Tuesday. I don't know if I'll keep doing that going forward. I haven't really thought that through. Not sure. But you're going to get more of these. That's the other point I want to make. You're going to get more of these impromptu, out on my walk. You're going to hear cars driving by. You're going to hear people saying good morning to me. You're going to hear airplanes flying over, garbage trucks some days. All of that used to make me feel like I had to go spend more time to edit that out. And it's not a wrong decision to do that, but it's really like a metaphor for my life right now and how complicated we make things that don't need to be that way. If this were a podcast about professional sound booth techniques and how to make crystal clear audio, then I should be doing that. I should be really focused on that. This is a podcast about building the woman who doesn't let anything fucking stop her. And I feel more alive than ever. Although I had a big old doubt this morning. I started to feel the timer ticking down of September. We're in the end of April and I'm like, oh, it's going to be September before you know it. What am I going to have to show for this? Take a deep breath and relax and say you got all the time in the world. This year of marking something is an artificial construct too. Just like everything else. You don't know what's going to happen next week, let alone 4 months from now. And it's just another illusion designed to distract you from the amazing life that you are currently living in this moment, right now. So that's my little morning drop. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm sure you can tell that I'm feeling it. And this feels so much more genuine to me to just record my decisions, my perspectives, any questions that are coming up in the moment that I'm facing them. And you're going to hear whatever environment I'm in. Maybe I'll get one of those little portable microphone systems. I'm going to be one of those annoying people walking around with their little puffball mini mics that they're holding in front of their mouth. Yeah, I'm going to be one of those people, apparently. Thank God I'm not video recording everything. I'd have a whole crew following me around all day. I've always thought, though, that would be a very powerful scenario to put yourself in. And I do use that mental trick. At least I haven't used it in a while, but I used to use it frequently. Putting myself on a camera 24 hours a day, or envisioning that there was a production crew filming every aspect of my life. So there's always that I can tip into. See, I just said tip into when I meant to say dip into. Old Laura would have edited that out. But you know what that does? Especially in a situation right now where I am literally showing up for myself. By doing that, I am telling my brain, I'm putting down the pathway that what I produce needs to be edited. That people aren't going to understand when I'm out walking around and I make a semantic paraphasia. That was actually a phonemic paraphasia. But yeah, we all do it. It just makes me more real. And there's nobody else like me. I was literally walking. You can see, I don't think I'm going to say all these things. And then when I'm walking around, they just come up. So it's actually making much better content. I was walking around earlier today thinking, I feel so good about the content I'm sharing in my podcast. I don't think anyone out there, whether this is true or not, this is genuinely how I feel, shares the level of specificity and application of how to train your brain and your mind. I'm so excited about part 2 of Activating Your RAS, the episode I'm launching on Wednesday. I am going to actually go home and re-record that one because I came up with another, not an angle, but another layer I wanted to add to that. So in that context, I think it makes sense for me to be willing to refine and go back over and perfect it, because this is a consumable product. It's a directive that it's going to change people's lives. And so I want it to reflect all that I can share, all that I know. And it would be wrong of me to have an additional layer pop through about how I could share and say, I don't really need to do that. The episode is good enough as it is. It's already 40 minutes long. I really don't want to re-record the whole thing, but I'm going to, because I feel like that honors that process of delivering the most specific, applicable value that I can. That's my thoughts for today. This podcast is going to turn into a whole lot more than I thought it was now. You guys are getting my living diary. That was a woodpecker. Did you hear that? Okay. Have a fabulous day and bet on yourself.